I don't know.
I think they done the fish here, didn't they?
So is this the hill?
Hill of O'Neill, yeah.
Pretty nondescript hill. I could have conquered this easy.
What?
I could have conquered this easy. It steps right up.
It's the invasion of what?
You're invading the hill of O'Neill. No wonder he lost it. If even you can fucking brute it.
Dander up so easily.
It's just literally the hill he died on then. No, that's a very strange shape of a building there. Like, why would you have a tower like that size?
Here, Mac, I thought you wanted somewhere to do your New Ireland TV from.
I was looking at that. But it must be better if we go on that website and look for this. It'll not be on the website listing. We'll have to phone up for it. That's okay. No information panel, so I can fake that I've done research.
Yeah. Hey, what are you left there for a fucking long? Obviously the chain wasn't long enough.
There's Craggy Island engineering right there. Go to the pub then, eh?
Okay. You old pube.
You gonna drink the night? And there's the you know, what is that, TV tower or whatever? But
Don't know.
it says no protocol.
This is barracks. There's
No
cameras
surrender.
on top of it.
So you want to describe what we just saw there? That we just spotted in the on the top of the hill of O'Neill?
Well, an empty facade of a building, Macca, that is going to waste.
They've literally put a domestic building and just covered all the windows. Like, is there any greater metaphor for the state of this kingdom?
State.
Yeah, of this kingdom.
Yeah.
And you know, look at the grandeur and splendour when O'Neill had it.
Well, this is the other part of the hill up here.
Ah, yes, here we are. Is where they were.
I think they have concerts and stuff up here too, don't they?
Got a full castle ramparts.
Yeah.
And in case you might think of expressing your freedom in any way, they've made sure that you know all the fucking laws. Like that's a bit control freakery, like, isn't it?
Yeah, at least we've got a wee bit of time here. First fort, 1305.
1305? Seems quite lit.
Edward Bruce, declared High King, 1315.
Is that the St. Bruce's graveyard? Braveheart?
The Bruces, aye, probably.
Such as Kilkenny. That was quite a useful timeline there. Now see, what I want to envision is a big massive timeline that incorporates all the things that would have happened. But sometimes it's easy just to forget how chronologically close.
These last two are the important ones. 1642, return of Owen Roe O'Neill. 1649, Cromwell arrived in Ireland. And then see the timeline stops right there.
Yeah. there is no more history. But yeah, what battles do you know about Hugh O'Neill then?
Not many, do you know any?
I have been sort of looking into some of those. So in Dry Hill, which is outside Trillick,
Okay.
they were trying to figure out which of them or the Maguires owned the patch of land around Trillick.
Right.
And Hugh O'Neill's won with stirring victory.
Fermanagh lose again.
That's why you have the border of Tyrone and Fermanagh. There's a wee bit of a jut.
Right.
Yeah, it is an interesting building. But I don't want to fucking lease it, like.
I'm sorry, Macca. I don't want to lease it, like.
There's a hill of O'Neill's. We should fucking take this back. Take it back, y'all.
What, are you going to come up with an army up the hill? You see that somebody throwing tar right at you?
If we just started occupying it, who's going to fucking stop us, like?
Yeah.
And look, they've been trying to burn out the school. Burn out Hugh O'Neill's school. That's where he was educated.
Oh, was it?
They were fucking burned down his year. Or else people just stole all the slates.
You'd rather take a step.
Anyway, why is there not stuff like this in Omagh?
Because there's nothing in Omagh.
You say this, but when you see this quiz when you'll be like, well, it gives you the fucking mountain range and everything. That's actually, again, a very nice little feature there. So, Tully Ho.
Tully Ho.
Must be closer, right? And then Slemish Mountain, it implies, is the other side of the water. So I'm going to suggest it's over there, just where the clouds are, you can't see. But yes, that's Cave Hill. You can see Cave Hill from here.
Huh?
It says you can see Cave Hill from here.
Yeah.
And that's Loch Ness. So we're actually looking at Antrim over there. And those are the Mourns in that direction. So, was his hand chopped off and this became the red-handed waltzer, is that correct?
It was a Hugh O'Neill, was it?
Well, I don't know. See, it gets a bit hazy when the further back you go, like, do you know what I mean? Can you imagine Hugh O'Neill sitting up there, lording it up, making sure all his clanspeople all around the country are all doing fine, and then he finds coming in from the east, these fucking arseholes with fucking steel helmets on, weapons of mass destruction, and it's just coming in here with an absolute pathological desire to kill everything in front of them. I mean, you can't really deal with that sort of.
They brought a marquee for festivals and such with them.
Exactly, yeah.
So
they had a concert planned before the invasion. It's hard to ascertain the details, but I think we can fill in the gaps. Like, maybe not actually. We can get in there. We can trespass with impunity.
Impurity or impunity?
Well, it's exit only.
Yeah. We don't want to
break those rules.
Sitting here with a seatbelt on like a loser, eh? Only losers wear self seatbelts, Macca.
You're decrying my freedom to fucking die horribly.
So this is Dungannon, Macca. What do you think of it?
Yeah, it's been pleasant enough so far.
Do you think it's a big place?
Well, it's town centre, a bit bigger than I thought. So as I said, I've absolutely no context of Dungannon whatsoever. It's just a place at the end of the motorway that you never see.
Right, we'll get away from this. You always chat about politics.
I know.
My
niece said I should stop doing that because it's boring.
Tell her she's boring.
Can't win with these ones.
What about? Let's see. What have I got to tell you? You know, did I tell you I got a temporary promotion at work, Macca? I'm now king. I'm 2 rungs away from head of the civil service. You know. And once I'm there, I'll use the full power.
Are you actually?
No, I'm not.
Right. I thought you might actually been useful there for a second.
No, I was only joking. That's not interesting at all.
Yeah, exactly. If there's one thing less interesting than talking about politics, it's
talking about work,
talking shop.
I know, I hate that. Hey. Oh, you know what I found this week? You know those squashy sweets you get?
Like the jellies.
Aye, there's like jellies. Wham, you know Wham bar. You get a Wham bar type of them. It's a game changer, Macca.
Which one's the Wham bar?
You know the Wham bar was like the bluish, purplish, or like wrapper with Wham on the outside. Had all the wee kind of coloured sour bits on it.
Coloured sour bits in it?
Yeah, it was like one of those
like it had like crystals of whatever that sugar shit is.
I stuck into the purple thing. What do you mean? It was class.
That sounds fucking horrible. I hate those fucking sugar bombs. Like, do you know what I mean? You got me jelly babies for Christmas.
Yeah.
How friendly and whatnot of you. Generous and whatnot.
I also got you, what do you call it? I got you, they're still sitting in the house. I got you, I made you cinnamon and brown sugar cider for Christmas. And I think it's still sitting in the bottles, like trying to clear because of the cinnamon that's in it.
So they haven't actually settled yet?
I think they might be alright. They've been I've kept them in the same place for like a year now. So.
Well, now they surely would have fermented into fucking whatever the beer equivalent of brandy is.
Nah, I don't like ferment so much. It's only about the yeast. But I was thinking about making a new cider, Macca. What do you think?
Out of your own pears? Or apples?
I forgot about those pears. They're softened in the cupboard.
Well, there you go. Free Perry. Free Perry McGraw.
Perry McGraw. Hat McGraw?
Hat McGraw's brother. Perry.
No, that's about all the news I could think of this week. On the WilMacca.
And we haven't done this for 2 months. We got no fucking. This is the problem when you miss one.
Well,
Yeah. Well, throwing one the All Ireland. We haven't even fucking spoke about that yet.
have we not?
I don't think so. Sure, that was back in September 14. No. Because when we went to Trillick, they were about to play the final.
That's right, aye.
So there you go. All Ireland champions.
But sure, you know what?
Expected. I'm bored of it now.
My excitement has dissipated because I'm up for winning another one next year. Oh, actually, that's a good thing. What about this? There's this special congress about how they're thinking about changing the championship. They're going to change it.
They're not using our idea.
No, they're not. Our idea was pretty sweet.
Our idea was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck did nobody just do the idea that's fucking sitting there in front of them?
It was pretty easy, eh? So this one's going to be like, you have the Ulster Championship in January or something, or just
I don't know what they're doing with the provincials, but
I think you have the provincial championship instead of like the McDonagh Cup and stuff. I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then you go into like a league format, and then wherever you come in the league makes like the championship round robin thing.
So there's 4 divisions.
I think.
The top division.
I think so, but supposedly if you come like 7th in division. Whatever way, they need to still work out some more weeks out, because if you come, say, like 7th in Division 1, you've got less of a chance than somebody that comes like 1st in Division 4 or something.
Exactly. Like, so there's 4 divisions. The top 5 teams in the top division go through to the quarterfinals. Okay. Why 5? Why not fucking 8? Like,
what in quarterfinals? Or
the next playoffs, the knockouts, the last 16, whatever it is.
No, but sure, how many matches do they have then?
Well, so the top 5 from Division 1 go through to the quarterfinals, plus 3 of Division 2, so that's 8 teams already. But that's not the full complement of quarterfinal teams. There's also 1 team from Division 3 and then 1 team from Division 4, so that's 5. So that's 10 teams altogether.
Right.
So the teams in Division 3 and 4 play off to get down to 8. So see how fucking complicated it's getting. And as you said, a team in Division 4, let's say Antrim had a really good year. Now, annoyingly for them, they got promoted last year, so they've actually got a harder way to get to the All-Ireland series.
Right.
But let's say they had a really good season and won Division 4. They would then be put up against the team that just won Division 1, as far as I understand it. So they're going to get the strongest team in the country after having played the 8 weakest teams in the country.
Right.
You know, how's that going to help? They're going to get an absolute battering, like the team that wins Division 4. Do you not think?
Yeah, but so it doesn't. You know what, Macca? I think our idea was pretty good. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Would they play the provincials and then seed it, going by the results of the provincial championships, and then seed the All Ireland draw from it, and like seed the groups from that?
That would work.
Yeah.
So all the provincial finalists are all separate.
Are all like number 1 seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just work it from there. And then you keep the integrity of the Anglo-Celtic Cup, like, yeah. You know what I mean?
And I hear Ulster's against it, but all the players want it. And
the Ulster Council's against it?
Yeah, the Ulster Council's against it because obviously the Ulster Championship's the best championship by far. Well,
if the administrators are against it, then it's not going to happen because...
No, well, they only need 60% vote.
They have to reach 60% to get
to pass it.
Well, that's far too hard, like. Surely it should be a majority vote.
It's not though.
But what happens is...
But it's not even at the other. There's 2 options, A and B. So if people vote for option A, they can't vote for option B.
Choose which one you want. So again,
why is it not votes? There's 2 votes.
So how many options
do you want to vote for option A?
Yes or no?
Yes or no, and then do you want to vote for option B? But if you vote for option A, you can't vote for option B.
See, that's what I mean. Why is it so stupidly convoluted? Do you know what I mean? Give 2 options. Which one's your favourite? Why is that so hard?
Status quo. You need 3 options then.
But what is the status quo? Is the status quo the straight knockouts? Is the status quo the Super 8s? Is the status quo the back door?
I assume the status quo would be either you'd have it down as either straight knockout or the back door.
But then what? Well, there you go. There's 2 options for just what the status quo is.
That would be for you to pick. But it's probably the knockout because it's not happening. I actually quite enjoyed the knockout this year. They had some shitty games right now.
Well, it wasn't too. See, the knockout is there's a purity to straight knockout, like, and especially when it gets to the last 8, then it gets the fucking, you get two big teams who are desperate not to lose a match.
But why don't they I know what they're saying about, if you have a straight knockout, it's like you've got one game and that's it for like lots of people.
Yeah.
But sure, why don't the ones that play that one game, they lose, why can't they have like their own championship, and then that way they can get like up a division or something?
Well, I don't know, but I do understand that one game and you're out is a bit, it can be very, disheartening, and what it does over a long period of time is a county like Carlow, I keep picking on Carlow, but a county like Carlow, if they keep only getting one match a year, there's going to be ones that aren't going to bother their hours playing for the county. They're going to stick to the club or stick to their uni or just go back to their job or whatever. So then that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of just they can't get out of this, this cycle of defeat. Like, but if there was 8 groups of 4 teams, they would have 3 matches a year guaranteed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then the Ulster Championship and the provincials would all be so important because they were the ranking system.
Yeah, no, that's just like number 1 seeds.
And so it would have helped everyone. We had a fucking much better idea.
That is a far better idea.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, we have to fucking sit and watch the fucking idiots take over the fucking carnival.
I know, whatever way it is too. Like the way they do it, they're going to wreck it. Like they wreck the hurling. Like,
aye.
I don't like they want if they do it this way. The B one is supposedly some teams they'll have to play in a different province and all. Like, what the why would you want to play in a different province?
Well, like the hurling, because there's 6 top teams.
Play each other like 5 times, eh?
Aye, and then they just become even higher top teams, and it's even more difficult for teams to come in afterwards and compete at that level. Like, I don't know.
We should sort it out, Macca. Get down there and sort it out.
We'll go down to Croke Park. We'll fucking bit of Belfast, bit of own proficiency is what these boys needs.
Yes, Brian.
Yes, Brian. So best Irish movie.
Best Irish movie? I don't know. We have to get back to Chatting Pictures. Chatting Pictures, the Irish film review.
The Irish film review. Just when we started getting a bit of momentum, we decided not to bother doing it anymore. Well, we didn't decide. We just stopped doing it.
What about this? We're in Science. This is the start of Science season. Okay. What about New Ireland TV as the CEO and big kahuna of the New Ireland TV? Tell me, is it starting?
Finder.
Yeah. Finder and big kahuna.
Finder and big kahuna. Yeah, I'll take that. Haven't got an executive board yet, so I'm not CEO. John corrected me about that when I was doing King's Fool.
Oh, did you?
John is a lawyer a lawyer friend of ours. I was going to say a lawyer of ours, but I haven't actually heard him. So, but I was sort of intended to do a bit more for Simon, but I also intended by this stage to have a location where I would just bring people to. So what you were saying?
Dungannon somewhere.
See, I'm not very familiar with Dungannon, but I bet you it's probably easier to get people down to Dungannon, especially from Belfast, because it's the end of the motorway. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it's another hour again out to Omagh, and then I still have to have a place for them to get to from Omagh.
See, that's the thing, you don't really know where it is. Newry would be good though, you get a train to there from Dublin and stuff.
Well, I was thinking of Clonus.
It's not hard to get to Clonus now.
Well, it must be, because I was looking at a house there for €65,000, and I was looking at directions, right, how long does it take to get to Dublin? 3 hours 12 or something. Was this
from Clonus?
Aye. Like it was definitely over 3 hours. I was like, what the fuck? Sure, it takes 2 hours from my house.
I know.
So unless you just have to fucking go through San Francisco streets to get out of the fucking place, like.
Well, we filmed Dirty Harold.
No, what's the Irish for Harry or Henry or?
Don't know. No idea.
Apparently Eilish is the Irish for Elizabeth. I found that out last night.
That's all bullshit, you know.
Well, you can tell my mum then. She said Eilish is
what?
Eilish is our prime enemy. No, it's
no, but like what I'm saying is like it's like saying Grania and Grace are the same. I mean, they're obviously not. Like Grania Wheel, Grace O'Malley, like they obviously just like they had so much disdain for people they couldn't even call them by their own names.
Well, what does Grania translate as then?
Grania, just name. It does it there is.
Well,
People, they just make this up because they don't want to. They didn't want to even give you the respect of calling you your own name. Like, that's what it is.
Fair enough. So, Seamus then?
Seamus, I like Seamus and James.
Do you not think that's an actual through line? There's actual translation there?
Why?
Hmm?
Why?
Well, apparently it's Diego in Spanish.
Diego?
Yeah. Which I find...
Do you not think that's
a bit of a
weird
stretch?
to do, no?
That's a bit of a stretch, I think. Because there is J's in Spanish, like.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't pronounce them as J's, they pronounce them as H's.
James?
James and
Is that Portuguese?
Jose and... Well, I don't know. But yeah, apparently Diego, and then... It's like John. Why is there so many fucking variations of John across the world? Like?
I don't know, 'cause
And Sean and...
I don't believe it. Like, I think they just...
I would say Juan and John are
Juan and John, yeah.
come from the same biblical source.
I would say that's true, yeah.
Of whether Sean does or not, I don't know.
Sean means old. In Irish, doesn't it?
Sean Noss. What's that?
Seanos.
What does that mean?
I can't remember what it means now.
Something about singing or something?
Yeah.
But yeah, so... I've got a big masterpiece of a film in my head where all the great genius of this planet resides in my head. I want to explore what's in a name. So,
Right.
like, you know the way people have nicknames? Like, your good friends have nicknames. But people addressing you formally are expected to use a title like Mr. or Sir or Baron.
Baron? Are you going to see the Baron of Baron's Court?
Well, that's why he's a so much more superior white Anglo-Saxon Protestant than myself.
Oh, is it? Yes.
Because he's got a title endorsed to him by Eilish. But yeah, I want to explore that. I'm just having... It's just such a big fucking idea. I need to literally spend about 6 months with not thinking about nothing else apart from this one script thing. Which, see, that's why I don't write, because I hate just having to focus on one thing. Maybe it's ADHD or something, or one of my ailments. What do you call them things? Shortcomings.
Never thought about it because I don't have ADHD enough to think about it for hours, Maya.
You think about my shortcomings all the time.
I don't have to think about them.
Well, exactly. There's such a natural instinct to you that, yeah. You keep your eyes to yourself, alright?
I was looking.
See,
I'm also annoyed about this car. You can't see it, but like, I'm sitting straight in this parking place, and this car is so close at the back. Right like this.
did it park in? You parked in?
I parked in, but I'm straight in the parking space the way I'm meant to be.
Car parking pride, woman. Car parking pride.
Prove my pride. I make it. Here, so Macca, do you want to do your monologue of Martin McDonagh's play that he got struck from copyright for YouTube, and do it now on the WilMacca podcast?
Well, I don't want to get the WilMacca podcast fucking struck from YouTube, so...
Is it on YouTube?
What parts of it are... So yeah, do you know what's
I'm not
annoying?
getting the money. Oh, I finally
no
got
fucking money.
I finally got an email from YouTube saying about money for some video I had up.
How much are you getting? You're getting monetized now?
Yeah, there's like some videos. I got a monetized video from YouTube.
Why the fuck's everyone live my dream so fucking effortlessly?
I don't think there's any many views on it.
You have to have 1,000 hours of viewing time.
I don't have that.
Well, if they've emailed you about starting monetization, you must have done across your entire channel. Like.
No, I don't. I've only got like 4 videos, and that's up to about 15 minutes. I don't know. I've got
No,
an
but
email, right?
it's not.
Maybe it's a fake email.
It's not that it's 15 minutes. It's that it's been viewed
All right.
10 million times to make that 15 minutes multiply 10 million times.
It doesn't say. It only says about a couple of thousand views on it. So, but then I got an email, so I'm like, maybe it's some guys from like Kenya sent it. Some prince.
Well known. There's a Subaru. There's a Subaru Fest in over this
Oh,
weekend.
yeah, that's right. I heard about the Subaru Fest.
Well, I only heard about it because they put signs up.
This person's not going to get out of this car, eh? This person would say this, like. Well.
Yeah, well, it's probably weird that we're talking to a phone. If anyone asks, we're just calling our parents in Portugal. Everyone in Duncannon's from Portugal, isn't that right?
Hello. Well, maybe. Actually, that begs the question about how, what way, do you hear about this thing about in England, you know where there's HGV driver shortage or whatever.
Yeah.
They were giving out 300 visas for it.
Well, they were giving out about 7,000 visas. They got 27
applicants. Aye.
It turns out if you treat people like fucking absolute scum for years upon years on end, underpay them, and then remove whatever connection they had to their family and home life, turns out they don't really want to just sit there and be your fucking serfs.
Well, like, I don't know, I don't mind the surf life, you know.
Well,
but you're right. I know it's ridiculous. And then
something got very crowded.
I'm gonna have to move this car here.
Looks like it alright.
Well, actually, maybe not.
Interrupted again.
Because it seems like this lady doesn't care that.
Did he just hit the car?
Yeah, go and check it there, my guy.
Well, there's no marks here. No. It's not scratched in it.
Oh, he just hits my car.
And it just saunters.
I'm just gonna fucking. You know what? I'm gonna crash into him. I'm running over. I'm running him over. Why didn't I just start at the car? I'm barreling through the front of that shop that he's standing in.
Here, it's not Westminster.
Oh, here. What about this SNP was stabbed, Macca?
Yeah, the UK is very quickly becoming a failed state.
God, already is a field state, if you ask me.
Well,
I'm going to move away from this boy a bit, Macca, because I don't want my car hit by his door. What an asshole. He's ugly. He's ugly as fuck, too.
That was a racist.
Oh, sorry. Since when was it not allowed to be racist?
But yes, the UK, for the second time in 5 years, has had a sitting parliamentarian has been murdered. And this was he had actually put on Twitter that he was going to have a
what do you call that thing a doctor has?
Constituency clinic.
Surgery. Clinic of surgery. Yeah.
Now, when I first seen that, following the Chris Packham incident.
What happened to Chris Packham?
Well, there's a very good point. What did happen to Chris Packham? But when your man died, I checked to see what his voting record on fox hunting was. It turns out he's very much against fox hunting. Now, it doesn't appear that was the motive for the killing, as far as we know. But Chris Packham, less than 5 days earlier, a beloved BBC presenter, beloved BBC employee, well-known animal rights and environmental activist, had a car blown up outside his house.
Did he?
Somebody blew up a car outside his house, outside his front gate.
Like with a bomb?
Well, they drove up to the gate and put it on fire.
His car? Or just somebody else?
I think it was just a different one. Might have been a stolen one or something.
Right.
This
Never
is.
even heard about it?
Well, exactly. A fucking BBC presenter getting a fucking terrorist incident outside their front door. It doesn't make the BBC news, like.
Yeah.
What the fuck? But yeah, and when he was describing this, so he just put a thing on Twitter just describing the incident and showing some of the CCTV footage he had. He was saying, oh yeah, and this has been an ongoing thing. They've been leaving dead animals outside my front gate for months, to the point where I had stopped actually telling people that it was happening, because he just normalised it for himself. And then he says, is this going to escalate to, are they going to cut the brakes on my wife's car? Are they going to kidnap my stepdaughter? Are they going to kill me? You know, where does it end? And as he said, fucking the BBC News buried it onto their local Hampshire website. So that's the county of Hampshire.
Right.
Didn't put it on their main website. Didn't mention it on any of the fucking news bulletins. And when they put it on the Hampshire website, it was about his reaction to trolling.
Right.
This is fucking straight up terrorist incident thing. Like the fucking sheer fucking Orwellian doublethink.
I know, that's
or
ridiculous.
doublespeak that's going on there, like, and it's yeah, and there's total collusion with the media and the establishment within the UK.
Yeah.
They can't control their population, so the things that signify a failed state, right? Loss of your territory, which you could argue is what came about when the protocol happened.
Mm-hmm.
Loss of crime, or loss of control of crime. We know the fucking crime is rampant. Like corruption in Westminster is, puts banana republics to shame. Like the scale of it.
You've got policemen taking women off the street into the back of the car, taking them off and raping and murdering them.
Exactly. In the guise of being a fucking law enforcement officer.
With a nickname of the rapist.
Yeah. Yeah. The other one is exclusive rights to violence. So that means that you can control the army, and there's no other army that's challenging you. I would argue they don't have that anymore either. I would argue it's fucking the likes of the UVF, the Countryside Alliance with their fucking little tactics of blowing up houses, the far right movement, well, I don't know what else, but like that's 3 examples of, I would say, militia, unofficial militia that are now unregulated militia that are now taking control of, territories in Britain. I think the place is a failed state already, and it's just that nobody wants to make that big declaration, or such a magnanimous declaration as that. But I think they're already gone. If they've 2 sitting MPs have been killed, there was 3 attacks on Parliament, effectively, if you want to say it, in that time. There was the London Bridge, there was the stabbing on Parliament Square. I think there was another one with cars or something. But
there was something with a car, wasn't there? Ireland went through some crowd or something. Yeah.
Now Priti Patel is driving through pretty much fascism 2.0, like, do you know what I mean?
That is ridiculous. It is unbelievable. I watched that Conservative Party conference, and there's a few videos I took out of it, and I was like, your boy goes, we have to change the Human Rights Act. It's terrible. And he goes, he goes, it's maddening the things that's in the Human Rights Act. It's ridiculous. And I'm like,
yeah. And also they're trying to pass now a law that gives the Coast Guard free rein to kill refugees trying to get onto the shore. Well, what they've said is they'll not be held responsible for the deaths of people when they're getting captured or whatever.
Right.
Which effectively is giving them free rein, and eventually that's going to attract people who just want to go over there and have fucking license to kill, basically. So that's kind of personnel it's going to attract.
Aye.
And like nobody has a problem with the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard's doing a very difficult job in obviously very dangerous circumstances, and everyone has goodwill towards the Coast Guard, I would suggest. Like I've never heard a bad word about the Coast Guard, like, but that's what's going to happen. They're going to fucking start attracting the worst elements of society who think that they've got a license to kill.
like the border force in America and Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the exclusionary of violence there, that they've just surrendered to the Coast Guard again. Do you know what I mean? So if you start using these standards, the UK doesn't fucking pass as a going sovereign nation anymore, like.
Yeah.
And they've been totally leapfrogged now in global influence by Australia. And that happened a lot quicker than I was expecting that to be. I thought that would take about 20 years.
Why Australia?
Well, Australia now, that arrangement they made with the US and the UK, Australia, that military thing.
Right.
That was really just the deal between the US and Australia, and the UK just happens to
be there.
Just the sort of, like, when Ross in Friends, when Ross and his girlfriend had a threesome. It only turned out that he was just there watching most of the time. That's what the UK is. But Australia is really, like, now, I don't know if you've noticed it, but if you're watching TV, Australia is much more prominent. Like, the way The Last Egg was presented by an Australian, well, that was okay because he was disabled or whatever. Whereas now you'll see they're starting to frame everything through what Australia thinks or what Australian people do, or you'll start seeing a lot more of this in the next, say, 2 years or something. They've been leapfrogged and influenced by Ireland by a complete mile, and as soon as they realise that, the humiliation of that will fucking destroy them, hopefully. As far like the UK, if the UK lasts out this decade that we're in, I'd be surprised now.
But like, in what way? Like, what do you
well, if Scotland hasn't left by that point.
Oh, I thought you meant like England. But yeah, well, for Scotland.
Well, even England, right? There's a growing want of more autonomy in places like Yorkshire and Cornwall. Like Yorkshire especially. Yorkshire has a party called the Yorkshire Party. They came 6th in the national vote in the general election. Just a number of votes. This party came 6th. They only stood candidates in Yorkshire. Do you know what I mean? I think they didn't get any MPs because of the way first past the post works, like. But there's clearly a burgeoning fucking movement there, like.
Yeah, but like, what's going to happen? Nothing really going to happen, are they? Because if they're a failed state, surely they're just going to like clamp down on it and be like go full V for Vendetta fascism.
Well, then London starts to look around, and they'll start thinking we could be just a city-state of our own with more connections to the EU, because they have the direct train connection, so they could actually, East Berlin, you could get a train from East Berlin all the way to East Germany, or whatever the other way about, West Berlin to West Germany, without having to stop. So they could do that again, and London's just a EU sort of proxy member or something. It's like, it is ridiculously stupid how they fucking played this. Like, you cannot see that, like, they could not fathom their short-sightedness, and they think they've won, and it's like...
Well, I think the people, but I think the ones in charge have, like, they've literally got what they wanted, did they not?
But that's what I mean, they think that they've won, and that their short-sightedness is just so... Like, the only way that this can get resolved that would be good for them is if they win a hot war against the EU's interests. Like genuinely, I think that's the only... Then I do think there's people who are fucking prepped up and ready for that. They think that, they're just going to wipe them off the map again because they did it in World War I and World War II. All they had to do was conscript half their fucking populace to their certain death, like, but...
I'd be up for that.
Fighting against the tyrants in Germany?
No, half their populace go for certain death.
Well, I don't know. I actually quite like English people, even Tory voters. They're genuinely fucking... If you actually get speaking to them, they're actually really nice people.
Why do they vote for evil people then?
Because they've been brainwashed over a course of 955 years. What happened 955 years ago?
955 years ago. I don't know, Magna Carta. I have no idea.
That's 200 years before that.
What is 955 years ago?
Well, you're the Maz.
I can't.
Genius. 21 minus 955.
Oh, that's minus something, Magna.
Okay, 2021.
Just tell me the year, would you?
1066, you fucking idiot.
I knew it was 1066.
Well, why did you fucking say it then? Why did you say...
What's wrong with 1066?
So, the Kingdom of England was then invaded twice.
By the Normans?
It wasn't the Normans first time, was it?
No, it was, who was it? There was two Harolds involved, wasn't there?
Harold Hardrada.
Harold and Harold whatever.
Harold Wilson.
Harold and Kumar.
Yeah. But they had a battle up in the northeast somewhere. And then within about a week or something, they realised they were getting invaded on the south coast by the Norman. Well, these were the Normans who had taken over France and all.
These Norman conquestors.
The Norman conquestors, conquistadors, the imperialists, in other words. So they got over it, and of course the army was fucking battered. It had to march fucking 150 miles or anything, so they were completely fucking overwhelmed. And then French imperialism took over England, and as far as I'm concerned, that's where England got lost. And that's what they consider the Dark Ages, isn't it?
Is it?
Or is the time before that? Well, anyway, there's a period of history around thereabouts where they don't have much information on. I suggest because the Normans came in and
wiped out everything,
destroyed all evidence of previous cultures, and then started their own Doomsday Book and their Magna Carta, etc., etc. And then they got invaded again, 1690. Everyone forgets this. The fucking Dutch came in, fucking wiped them out. we all seem to forget this. They call it the fucking Glorious Revolution. It's like, you were taken over by a foreign entity, you fucking cocks.
You cocks.
Then you let them stay in charge without any fucking...
Yeah, but you forget, Macca, that they fought a war. Those two people fighting for the kingdom of England fought a war in Ireland so they wouldn't destroy their own nation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
People always forget this. I don't know.
The Vatican and the British Crown basically had a fucking battle site that was the island of Ireland for fucking 800 years. And
it's celebrated here by top people.
Yeah.
Which I don't really get why it's celebrated, because like the way they celebrate it, it's like, they're celebrating William's victory, like over James, as though it's meant to be something else. Like, surely they should be supporting James.
Well, we know which fucking side he's on, eh?
Huh?
See, I was the Fenian and he was the Irish. Fucking William of Orange.
Alright, no, fine, James and William. What can you do?
We'll have to recreate this in the Battle of the Boyne. In fact, next month.
What?
Gonna head down to the Boyne River.
I head down to the Boyne River. And can I get a white horse?
I might be able
to drive. Is it white or
drive.
grey? White?
I might be able to drive at that point. So I could be able to drive.
So I can drink?
You can drive. See, this is what I mean. So, if the two of us are able to drive then, and we want to go somewhere, it behoves us then to take 2 separate cars.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it means that one person's doing all the... Like, I can't drive this car, even if I
Why
pack,
not?
because I'm not insured on.
Are you not insured and fully comp in every car?
No, I think I'm just on that car. But you're fully comp on all cars. And see, well, I probably couldn't take because Sean actually uses that car to get to work. I had to get my own car. How much are you selling this for? Give you 70 quid for it.
Hey, what do you mean second-hand cars are dear nowadays?
Why? Where'd you see that?
It's because they have all these chips. They haven't been able to make these chips so that they're all the second-hand cars are basically either the same price or slightly dearer than what they're getting sold for before, like a year ago.
Well, do you know what I think's happening? That second-hand cars are actually reviving the CD industry, music CD.
Are they?
Because you think a lot of young ones get their first car.
Young ones?
Well, 20-year-olds,
Yeah.
Then they get their first car. It'll probably be like a £600 car or whatever. It's about maybe 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They all have fitted with CD players, and perhaps not have Bluetooth or aux cables or anything like that. So all these young ones are buying CDs they never bought before, and might be revising the best medium in which to listen to music.
That could be. I heard
Do you agree with that assessment, really? I think it's the CDs are the best ones.
Maybe, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't think about it, but.
See, people keep it on about vinyl. I think vinyl's a fucking pain.
Oh no, I do. I like if you're on about CDs, yeah, I think they're the best. I don't really get vinyl either. Like, what's the point? Surely it's just something you put in your wall. No, is it not?
Well, sure, it's something you print. You print political messages on.
Yeah. No, but you know what it means. Like, are you going to pay a vinyl record? Not really.
Well, they're quite expensive, right? They're 25 quid for a brand new album coming out because I ordered one. I forgot to collect it. I told them to phone me and they haven't phoned me. But anyway, 25 quid at least. Then they get warped if they're in too hot or too cold an environment. The sound quality that everyone says is so fucking brilliant and analog and human, it's just a fucking hiss on top of the music you're trying to listen to, like.
Yeah, I don't really understand.
And a crackle, and
surely, like, how can that be better than a CD? It's digitally recorded, like, it's not.
Exactly. If you want that fucking experience, right, just listen to an MP3 player near a gas leak.
No, I agree about the CD. I'm a big fan of the CD, but they're way hateful to keep in your car, like.
Well, cars aren't really. Yeah, it's for storage. They're a bit unhandy. But if you have one of them wallets, you can hold like 70 odd CDs or 50 CDs or whatever.
Speaking of which, I got a new CD this week.
What did you get?
I got I got Pashi. No, that's.
Fuck's sake! Look at the state of this fucking heathen bastard. It's not even fucking siren yet.
No, I got Pashi. I don't know what you're looking at.
You said you got a new CD. I'm looking at
that's a friend of a New Ireland TV right there.
That is a friend of New Ireland TV.
I got Pashi's new EP.
I'll not show this Fleetwood Mac rumours because I'll probably have to pay because we're not commenting on the vastly overrated, oversold album.
That's Warner Brothers for you.
Exactly.
What about this Batman film? Are you going to see it, Micah?
I heard it's 3 hours long, which it gives me a cause for concern.
I
do like the thought of it.
I did see the James Bond film. It was 2.5 hours. Didn't seem it now. It was good. I actually enjoyed it.
See, I reckon James Bond is another one of the propaganda things.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right there. Aye.
Have they now shown who the next James Bond is?
Not really, no.
Have they shown that Daniel Craig's definitely not the next James Bond?
Yes.
That is unquestionably. There's no take backsies.
Because I don't know what I can say here for people who haven't seen it. But no, he's not the next James Bond.
All right, okay, that's what I was asking for. So they're all this talk about getting Idris Elba and
the old man Elba
or a woman or something like that. It's like they're not going to do it. The whole point of this is to show the supremacy of the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant male.
Well, I don't think James Bond should be a woman, personally.
Well, they've already said they're not going to do that.
James Bond.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hamas Bond.
Is that not a code name?
No, it's not. That's what people say. Oh, it's only code name. It's not. 007's the code name.
But James Bond is just the alias of the code.
It's not.
Well, what about when George Lazenby got it and he goes, this wouldn't have ever happened to the other fella?
What? What did he say? I can't even remember.
It was the first person to be a new James Bond was George Lazenby, or Lazenby, whatever the fuck his name was.
Alright, the Australian fella, I know that.
Aye.
The first Bond to wear a kilt, even though he came directly after Sean Connery being Bond in 4 films.
See, Connery's too much of a Scottish nationalist to wear a kilt. That's
true. That's an imperialist thing.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
You're right.
But the first thing he says after he killed some poor unfortunate is like, gosh, this would never happen to the other fella. Implying that they know in universe that it's a different person.
It's a different person.
But then Connery came back after that.
Yeah. And Never Say Never Again. Well, that was
or something.
Where he was like 90 and he was suggesting Kim Basinger.
Yeah.
Sounds right. Sexiest man alive.
Well, I don't know. See, this is it. So James Bond just there's the epitaph. What do you call it? The cenotaph.
The cenotaph in London. They moved it to Dungannon.
So somebody's very
yeah, there's somebody taking a photo here.
Very enthused by it. It's not even November yet. You fucking jerk. See the Christmas thing, right? The Christmas ads have all started in earnest now. We're back to normal and everyone can get back to fucking spending all your money and fucking getting a big fucking circle wank of fucking capitalism that is Christmas.
Do you know
and
why?
Christmas sales.
No, but do you know why they've started so early this year?
Because they're desperate not to lose it.
No, they're desperate because they couldn't get, because of the container shortage and the prices, they couldn't get Halloween decorations on hardly anywhere in time. So
I've seen Halloween decorations in the few places I've seen them. I have seen them up.
Aye, but it's been skimpy.
But it's always like that. Like they always only give Halloween like 2 weeks, and it's usually just kids like costumes, which fair enough. But it's only every 2 weeks, and pretty much every year they're always preempting Christmas before Halloween.
Well,
but
I
what I
heard
was
there's
going
a
to say,
Christmas tree shortage this
that
year.
probably wouldn't be a bad thing, to be fair.
There's a Christmas tree
As
shortage.
in plastic ones, or
as in both. There's 2 Christmas tree farms.
Christmas is cancelled. They're not going to get a Christmas. They can't get the turkeys. Now they can't get the Christmas trees, and they're not going to have the fucking energy to power Christmas lights. Like
I think this energy shortage is a bit overblown. I don't think this whole thing about rolling shortages and electric and all. I don't believe it. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's completely overblown. I think there's a lot of lobbying going on.
You think it's just profiteering?
This is in Ireland too. Yeah, I do.
Well, anyway, because we're getting into global politics again. How do I keep doing this?
Well, about Christmas, what were you saying?
My point was, shouldn't they hold Christmas celebrations out of respect until at least after fucking Remembrance Day? Like,
why?
Out of just sheer respect for the lost souls of the Empire. But you know what I mean? Like, if there's, there's supposed to be this really solemn day where they all give thanks to people who laid down their lives. All the while fucking Christmas tunes are fucking playing in the shop nearby, like. So they have no fucking decency.
They played football on Christmas Day in World War One. Do you not know that story about how the Germans obviously probably beat them in that football match because they're superior in every way. But
it was the fact that the human beings at ground level were able to interact. They couldn't allow that to happen. Do you know what I mean? They had to fucking cut that down as quickly as possible. They have to get back to killing each other from a distance.
Do you think if you were there, right, and he says, "Oh, you can kick off," you kick off? I don't think I would have. Here's a ball, you take the kick off. You just kick it and.
So you put a booby trap in the ball.
In the ball.
Typical Brit, you.
How you won World War One? Bobby Charlton.
The industrialists.
Here I watched Mastermind there one day, and there was somebody on answering questions about the Simpsons, and they got like 5 out of 10. Okay. Unbelievable, like. Unbelievable.
They're doing the Simpsons a while out on Mastermind these days.
That's because nobody else knows about anything.
Well, it's like University Challenge. Now, I don't watch it every week, but every time I do watch it, it feels like these questions have been asked before, and they seem to have just like about maybe 10 subjects that they just keep going back to. Classical art, the classics, as in like
classics,
ancient mythology, science, not even geography. Like, it would be just, it would be ecological geography rather than just geography. But and eventually they just come around to recycling the questions over and over again.
Yeah, but is it people from like Cambridge and Oxford that write the questions for it?
Yeah, probably.
Are they question compilers with no lives? Because they went from university where they had no life, just like, you know, buddying up other people from Oxford and Cambridge, and then went straight into the BBC, buddying up with people from Oxford and Cambridge who also have no life.
With the guys from the previous years.
The winner of the previous year's University Challenge.
Speaking of quizzes, as part of this group, we're trying to engage more pride in Omagh, not Omagh Pride, but
Omagh Pride.
more sort of community investment community sort of. What's
I'm
that?
not from Omagh, I hate it.
Why do you hate Omagh?
Because Omagh disgusts me.
Alright, well, Newton then. You're still going to be a victim of this fucking mine.
Right, go on, let me hear.
So what we're trying to do is do an Omagh quiz.
Is there not an Omagh quiz every weekend? There's two. Is there not one on the way in? Is it still not going? No, every Thursday.
Where the subject is just Omagh.
Oh, is it just Omagh?
The questions are all about Omagh. Is basically.
How long can you keep that running?
I reckon you get 100 questions, I reckon. No, it's just not going to be a one-off, like.
Ah, right, okay.
I reckon you get about 100 questions. Maybe an annual thing.
But is it going to be a lot of questions about you have to know people's names from Omagh?
Well, I set my aunt to compiling some questions, and they're coming up with, like, really, really, like, you need to have a fucking granular knowledge of the history of the town. And it's like, I need something a bit more general. I need more general knowledge. They'd be asking, like, what institution was on such and such George Street? 26 George Street.
But see, that's stupid. That means young people's not going to know that.
That's what I've been saying to them. So the answer was the convent, not to be used in the quiz. I was thinking of having a round just about New Ireland TV stuff, just the rewards people have actually been that have actually been watching. For example, what T-shirt was I wearing at the Healy Park? Or one of your questions: what limb is our friend, what's his name, Bruce, chomping on? And before you see the answer, what can you tell? What was your answer, Wilma?
My answer was.
I think I said it right that time.
I did too. Right leg.
Right foot.
Right. I can't reach.
There's the lens.
I know. Actually, I can't reach. That's as far as it goes.
Right.
Yep. There it is.
Yeah, and make sure they can see the tool so they know
But
it's the
you
right
forget
foot.
on that screen it's mirrored, is it not? No.
Touché.
So that's a trick question. Nobody knows the real answer. Even if they get the answer wrong, they might get it right, Maggie.
Well, exactly, yeah.
But they'll leave up with it. There you go.
See, these phones are slightly older. There's an iPhone 7 I'm using. So they don't have automatic white balance. Fucking decrepit 5-year-old technology.
So tell me this, I want to know a question, right? Are we still in lockdown? Or are we out of lockdown? It seems like we're out of lockdown to me.
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone's been in the mind frame of lockdown for about at least 6 weeks.
Like, the only thing it's...
Like, even before the All-Ireland, I think people had sort of left lockdown at the door.
We see, the thing about that was that at least, like, with that, you still had to, wear a mask going to events, but does that still happen now? I don't know. Like, obviously you wear a mask going into shops and stuff, but if you're going to a concert, do you wear a mask, or is it separated so you don't have to now? I don't know.
Well, we'll find out all the answers October 22nd. But then the problem is the fucking cases are rising like through the roof. And here
there was how many people died there one day? Like, a lot of people died.
Well, my niece, right? In fact, probably should have told you this before I got in the car.
We're dying?
Hopefully.
No. Right. Freddie had it, Micah.
My niece, who is too young to have been vaccinated,
right,
doesn't have any smell or taste, and she's done 2 flow tests. Both came up negative.
Oh, you should have told me that before you got in the car, yes?
My dad was bedridden yesterday, but then after I went to bed, I heard him fucking shouting over the house about how excited he was to watch football. So he might have just been faking it. But there's 41,000 daily cases in England. Surely that was near the peak. Is that what the kind of numbers were at?
Yeah, we're at like peak numbers here. There was 1,000 cases or something, and there was like 10 dead or something, 8 dead or something.
And I'm hearing that a lot of the ones going into ICU, like the number of ones who are fully vaccinated going into ICU has been massively underreported. But I don't want to be one of them conspiracy theorists who have to unveil the truth through all the madness.
I think, I just don't know why they didn't just... Well, I do know why. It's quite funny.
But if they lose the second Christmas in a row, Like, they're going to have fucking people in the streets fucking tearing down fucking 10 Downing Street. That's what they're
But
fucking
sure, they
scared
didn't
shitless
lose
of.
last Christmas, did they?
They did. Boris
They-
cancelled it on the 23rd of December.
Did they not open up?
No.
Did they not?
They wanted to. They were desperately trying to do it, and then they finally...
Ah, but sure, you
just
see-
before they had... Because the Kent variant, remember, came out?
But everybody still went to everybody's houses on Christmas Day, didn't they?
But they didn't have fucking... There was no Christmas work dues. There was no turning on the Christmas lights. There was no...
Was there not
There
2
were
weeks
no pubs
before?
open.
2 weeks before
Like, a lot of
that,
people go to
did
the
they
pub in
not?
England on Christmas Day.
Did they not 2 weeks before that? Did they not have their shopping days and all, no?
But they did, but then the Kent variant came out and they had to fucking, like, shut everything down, like, and if they have to do that again, you know...
Sure they won't, anyway, will they? Sure, why would they? There's no opposition to do anything in England, is there?
No. I was watching a video about Ken Loach was saying about Keir Starmer.
He doesn't like him, I bet you?
Called him a lying cunt, effectively.
Why? What was he lying about?
Well, he said he was there at the leadership hustings, he was there to... And we're back on politics. He was there to unite the party, and the first thing he did was just go in and fucking cause as much division as he could to eradicate the left wing of the party on behalf of the imperialists who have the Blairites.
We chat here, talking about Ken Loach, have you ever chatted to him about getting him to do a piece for New Year on TV?
I hadn't, but I was thinking of that yesterday when I was
You should.
watching that.
He might do a piece to camera himself.
He's about 90, or he's over 90.
Mm-hmm.
He's very close with them. He's very... Like, he's got his wits about him. See, these old ones, they've been too fucking productive in their fucking...
I know,
all these
mate, aren't they?
Nonagenarians fucking hitting space and everything.
Like, why is it not like the old days where, like, they just, like, get infirmed
Exactly.
and then let the strong come up? But no, they're holding on to the power.
The young and vital ones.
Well,
Oh, thought I was about to witness a knocking down
uh,
there. But yeah, there's nonagenarians in space and all sorts of things.
is that not Pigs in Space? Muppet Show?
Like
Oh, aye, that's right. 'Cause-
90-year-old
yeah, Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
William Shatner went to
Captain
space.
Kirk Hammett.
You know what? Fair play to him.
Well, it's probably grand for him, like, but
I saw the thing where they went up to space. He was wearing the yellow shirt and the rest of them were wearing red. I wouldn't have been wearing a red shirt going up to space with him.
do you reckon he fucking insisted upon that?
Right,
It's like,
probably.
under no circumstances am I dying on this fucking rock.
Surely the captain shouldn't be going on away missions. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he not in command over here?
He's in cahoots.
I've not. What age is he? 95 or something.
No,
He's got his wits about him, like.
9-0. Yeah, exactly. Like he was had interviewed afterwards, and he was speaking like, like a sprightly 70-year-old or something.
And the best thing is, I was listening to the radio.
I'm sure half the BBC fucking on broadcast staff were fucking 70s, 80s.
Yeah, but the BBC radio were saying about, this is William Shatner, and they had the clip when it goes like, when you're up there, it's just very black. All you see is black, and when you look down, it's light. And people were saying, he's not very articulate. But then when you listen to the whole thing, it's like he was saying about, yes, you go up there and yeah, that's beautiful. Oh yes, it's mysterious. There's galaxy and everything, but what you really see is black. But that actually makes more sense. The way they were at the start, they were trying to take the piss out of him because he wasn't articulate. And all. It's like he obviously is articulate because he's trying to emphasize how deep it is. And then he goes, when you look at Earth back at it, it's so light and everything. It's like because he obviously said all that other stuff, and he said
But they just clipped that out.
Aye.
Because they're fucking manipulative scumbags.
Yeah, it's just like it was just like, you're trying to take the piss out of him just because like so he's some American actor going up or whatever. And you're like, well, he obviously was like, he could have said, like he said himself, oh yeah, it's beautiful, there's guys, he goes like, but he like skimmed over that because it's like, it's meaningless to what he actually saw. You know?
And you look at David Attenborough and all his fucking lies and fakery.
About that polar bear in the zoo.
What was the polar bear in the zoo?
They filmed, didn't Attenborough film, like, there was meant to be like a polar bear out in the wild, but it was actually in a zoo they were filming it.
That's how they make all those shows. They're all captive animals. Like.
Mm.
They're not. They want you to think that they've been sat outside for fucking 6 months waiting for the perfect shot. It's like as if they're going to waste that kind of mile hours. Like.
But see, that's the thing. Like, if you're sitting, like, well, I would say some people probably do, like, sit out for a long time.
There will be freelancers who will have done that. Yeah.
But like, if you're in the Arctic and you're waiting for like a polar bear, the Arctic's what? It could be like could be a 2,000 or 3,000 mile radius. One bear lives in.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's walking about like this.
Fuck's blind. Fucking disappeared there.
But you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, exactly. And like all these deep ocean stuff that they've done. It's like, under no circumstances are they waiting for the exact moment where a shark fucking eats the dolphin or whatever it is. They're fucking manufacturing this scenarios. Like.
They're pulling it up, throwing a dolphin out beside it.
Right, we've got the shark. Right, okay. Drop the dolphin.
Drop the dolphin.
Drop the dead donkey.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
Was that right?
The old Robert Maxwell days.
No.
I'm seeing a lot of personalised number plates on a Sunday, and I'm aware that I'm wearing a car that has a personalised number plate.
Yes.
What kind of dweebs get a personalised number plate?
I was given it as a Christmas present. I never requested it, but I like it. I like it.
I do believe I remember him requesting or looking forward to getting it.
Huh?
I do believe I remember you looking forward to getting it. In fact,
It was a surprise. I didn't look forward to getting it. I didn't know I had it.
so are you going to update it now that the T3 is out of date?
No, well, the first one's always a special one, Mac, you know. Tyrone 2003, William David Devine, T3 WDD.
Would it not be better T03?
Oh, sorry, Mac, which one have you got?
Oh, what? You play by letter? Is that how this works?
Yeah?
No.
No, you don't pay by a letter, but like the suppose the closer the things are, the dearer they get, you know. They used to buy cookies. How many people are searching this and all, and then like, you know the names, so you could get what M4CCA for Macca.
Right.
You could search that. It could be
That'd be quite expensive, I imagine.
yeah.
That'd be like, how much do you reckon that'd be? About 1,500 quid, maybe.
I don't know, maybe. But then you could find M4CC4, and it could be slightly cheaper. You know.
But I don't want to get MACCA 1.
Yeah.
I am the supreme fucking personalised number plate owner.
111, slightly cheaper even more. 111.
Right, should we wrap this up then? Because we've got 90 minutes on this phone. 92 minutes.
Oh, I suppose so. I don't know.
Okay, come on, where's your out phrase?
What has been?
We have our catchphrases, we don't have our sign-ons and sign-offs. Well, keep watching New Ireland TV. We have lots of new...
Who cares about New Ireland TV? This is the WilMacca vidcast.
Exclusive to New Ireland TV. Except when it's 90 days later when it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's plenty of new stuff. There's the Tyrone homecoming. We have footage of just the aftermath of Tyrone winning the All-Ireland final. Come on, Tyrone!
I actually have. You've got the homecoming on. I have some footage that I give it to you.
I don't believe so, no.
No, I have like phone packed full of footage from the homecoming.
Well, what use is that now? A fucking month and a half later. I did actually try and get in touch with Tyrone GA to get an interview with their secretary, who's been there for about 20 years, and he declined, even though he's a personal acquaintance.
He declined?
He did decline.
That's your in-depth interviews. He didn't want to
Well,
be scrutinised, Macca.
no, he was going to be the big in-depth interview, but it would have been good because it was all about, he was there from the 90s, I think, when Tyrone had not won an All-Ireland, and now they have 4. And I wanted to get, a retrospective of how you keep that sort of level of excellence going that very few other counties have been able to maintain. Like, with the exception of Tyrone, Kerry, Dublin and Mayo, no other counties have had that sustained level of where they're at the top of the tree pretty much every year. We have.
Yeah.
So Tyrone homecoming. There's Omagh Pride as well. Full thing about Omagh Pride. The very first Pride event in Omagh. New Ireland TV was exclusive. Have exclusive footage of all the crowds and etc. So if you're at any of those events and you want to see yourself on TV, get onto New Ireland TV and tell all your friends. Don't forget to tell them all. Make sure they're watching.
That's true. I actually watched some of that. It was very good. It was good.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people. I saw a lot of people in it. There's a lot of stuff on the New Ireland TV about it. There's different speeches, different interviews, different parts of the parade and stuff. So it's actually quite good. I liked it.
Yeah. And what else have we got? So I haven't been putting as much new stuff on. Favourite Irish songs, we've wrapped up season 1.1. So get on there, you get a sort of thoughts on what we've got so far.
Will I get to have another song in season 2?
When we get to season 2.0 in 2022, we'll have people back. And yeah, because yours are a bit on the fly, as far as I remember. I think I got you drunk and just asked you what's your favourite Irish song.
Maybe. Right, so we'll sign this off now, Macca.
Stay tuned to New Ireland TV, a new TV station for a new Ireland.